And welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. And also, prepare for trouble and make it double. Because some pretty crazy news happened today. This is one of those things where I make a lot of videos on my channel. I talk about a lot of things. And this is going to be one of those moments where if you don't watch my channel, this might be hard to believe. But this is something I've been asking for now for what seems like forever. I've been asking for this set. And if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock the last day or two, this information, well, really the last day, this information's been out everywhere. This was an emergency live. This was not a planned live. But recently we just saw a leak. If you can go on the PokeBeach article and read up on it a little bit. But Pokemon TCG has trademarked the name The Glory of Team Rocket. So anytime Pokemon trademark something, like they trademarked Twilight Masquerade recently, and before that they Shrouded Fable. Like whenever they copyright a name, it's usually for a set. And the Glory of Team Rocket does appear from, as of right now, that it's going to be a main expansion. This is what Pokemon needed. This is what modern Pokemon needed. Hell, this is what I needed. This is going to be phenomenal. We don't even know what cards are in this set. We don't know what it's going to look like. It just, I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. This is going to be the set of the Scarlet and Violet era. That's it. Like, it's going to be the most hyped, most sought after set. And shout out to Dan Ketchum Collectibles, one of my favorite quotes in the hobby. Don't underestimate artists' ability to art. And we are going to see some artists come out on this set, and they are going to do what they do best. They are going to art. I mean, there's so many good Team Rocket sets. Obviously, going back to like the OG days of just regular Team Rocket. So what is that? The fifth set of Wizard of the Coast, and then fast forward to like EX Team Rocket Returns, and there was a lot of sets in between, like Team Aqua, Team Magma. There was a lot of different sets. Like even Double Crisis was kind of like a standalone bad guy set, but we haven't seen a real main set since Team Rocket Returns. This is going to be huge. This is going to be huge for the TCG. People are going to FOMO into this. It's going to be sought after. And one of the things that I've been saying a lot recently is one of the things that modern Pokemon has really been lacking is what I call set identity. And the Glory of Team Rocket, just in the name of it, set identity. You already heard it, the Glory of Team Rocket. This set is going to have what I feel that modern Pokemon recently has really, really been lacking, is that true set identity. You know, when you think about sets recently that had true set identity, and you go back to like the Sword and Shield timeline, and you think about, well, name me one set that has probably the best set identity. And to be honest with you, it's probably Evolving Skies. And Evolving Skies has great set identity. And there's like a cohesion that goes with it, and you have all the evolutions in there. But even like one of the cards that a lot of people talk about is it doesn't kind of make sense in the set is the Altart Rayquaza from Evolving Skies. But even in Evolving Skies, if you look at the Eevee card, yes, the Eevee before you get to the Umbreon and your Sylveons and your Glaceon, literally the starter Pokemon Eevee. For Evolving Skies, when you look into the background, Eevee's sitting and he's looking up, and in the distance is a Rayquaza artwork. So even Rayquaza, which is one of the biggest chase cards in Evolving Skies, which is Evolving Skies is mainly, again, that evolution set, it still had this great set cohesion that went with it. And when you have a set with good set identity, which Evolving Skies had, you see what sets do. This Team Rocket set, in my opinion, is going to have that missing X factor that we've been waiting for so long, which is set identity. I'm hoping Pokemon really does a lot of different things with this set. I'm hoping we see some sort of like homage or throwback to some of these older sets, and maybe we get a secret rare reprint, very similar to what we saw with like a lot of the platinum sets. whether it's Platinum Base, Rise and Rivals, Supreme Victors. If you don't know, in a lot of those sets, we saw like homages to original like artworks for Pokemon cards, whether it's the Scyther artwork or the Hitmonchan artwork or the base set Pikachu artwork or like the Surfing Pikachu. These cards were all like homages. They like paid towards these older Wizard of the Coast cards, but they acted as secret rares in like the Platinum sets. I'm still hoping for the big alt-art textured card and stuff. Trust me, I'm still hoping for that. But I am also hoping for maybe at least one throwback, like secret rare, just paying homage to these older sets. And it could be something as cool as just the Dark Raichu from like Team Rocket. If you don't know, the Dark Raichu is 83 out of 82. It's the first ever secret rare that Pokemon ever put out. I would love to just see that Dark Raichu. And because I'm a Raichu fanboy, if they could even do the next step and reimagine that Dark Raichu. So, very similar to what we saw in Celebration. So, how I mentioned that in Rise and Rivals, we saw that half-art Pikachu. I have it. So, sometimes it's easier to just show it, because sometimes a picture speaks more. So, what I mean by it is, so obviously, so this is your original OG base set Pikachu. Then in Rise and Rivals, as a secret rare, they paid homage to that Pikachu. So you can see it's that similar artwork, but a little bit different. And it acted as a secret rare, and it was a great card. But then what we saw happen in Celebrations is we had this original Pikachu artwork, but then they expanded it and they made it as that entire card. And because they made it that entire card, it gave it like that next level to that card. And the crazy thing is this Pikachu in Celebrations was not a tough card to pull. There was a million of those cards pulled. Yes, Rise and Rivals, it was secret rare of the set, but that's what I'm hoping now. So the card I'm describing is this card right here, which is irony that they're on the same page. So this Dark Raichu from Team Rocket, and then this is the non-holo one. It was from the Turmoil theme deck for Legendary Collection. But if we can see that Dark Raichu with the reimagined full artwork like we saw with the Pikachu from Celebrations, that I'm telling you, that is what we need. And it just has to be one card. It doesn't have, and then Pokemon could just do what Pokemon does best, and they could just go hog wild. I think this has the makings of being the best set of Scarlet and Violet, hands down. Real quick, Son of a Mewtwo, I appreciate you. He's been a member now for 3 months at the Raichu level. And then real quick, Son of Mewtwo with the Super Chat, he said, just paying my dues, need more Team Rocket sets ASAP, yes. And we are finally getting it. And it looks like that Team Rocket set, we're going to have to wait a little bit of time, because we're just seeing like the early leak of the copyright. So probably most likely the timeline for a set is going to be early next year. So at the time recording this video, unfortunately we are only in June of 2024 at the time recording this video. So we probably still have between 6 to 7 months until we see that Team Rocket set get released. I am really fingers crossed, hoping that maybe we get super lucky and this gets pushed to like the November set, because if it does get pushed to the November set, that would be Pokemon's way of releasing this set right before that holiday rush. So an example being like previous November sets, like Vivid Voltage was a November set, and that was November 2020. In November 2019 was Cosmic Eclipse, and they always have like some sort of little change to it. So Vivid Voltage introduced Amazing Rares. Cosmic Eclipse introduced the character rare card. So maybe, fingers crossed, no promises. It does, from what I've read, it looks like it's going to be early this year. But fingers crossed, if it is November, and maybe it does get a little bit earlier of a release in order to get it out for that holiday season, maybe Pokemon will also introduce some sort of new rarity type to it, whether it is that amazing rare type rarity or if it is that character rare. Maybe this could be like the set. And I'm all in. I'm all in on a name. I haven't seen an artwork, which is great. I wish I could just do like the whole ostrich and stick my head in the sand thing for the next 7 months and hear no leaks for this set once whatsoever, and just be able to truly experience this set when it comes out and be able to like enjoy that pack open experience. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, at this point in the game it's just not even possible, especially making content on YouTube. There's no way I will be able to do that, but I am passionately looking forward to this set. And I think one of the things that Pokemon, and this is one of the things I've talked about on other videos talking about a darker type set too, is one of the things that I do believe that a lot of the collectors in this hobby are looking for, because a lot of people from the outside looking in, you think of Pokemon, you think of a children's playing card game. And while that is an inherent fact, and it's true on, you know, the most basic of levels, when you get to like the higher tier in this hobby, the age demographic does change pretty drastically. There are people that are still tied back to that original, you know, 99 timeline. And in that 99 timeline, when you talk about your Jesse, your Jameses, and your Meowths, and your Giovannis, that is that original Gen like 1 vibe to it. That original Kanto type vibe. But with that said, one of the things that collectors in this hobby are lacking a little bit is that more adult feel to a set, or maybe a little bit more of a maturity feel to a set, because like I mentioned, Pokemon is still a children's trading card game, but the higher end collector, the older collector, I do feel that they are looking for a little bit more of that gritty feel to a set. And I've talked about it on previous videos. EX Team Rocket Returns, which as it aged, has aged to be one of the best sets in all of Pokemon. And when you talk to a lot of different people in this hobby and you ask them, what is your favorite set? You'll be surprised at how many people say it's EX Team Rocket Returns because of the artwork, because it does have a little bit of more of that gritty feel to it. And if we get that in this, the Glory to Team Rocket, and it's in the name too, like, the bad guys in Pokemon should never be the ones to win. The bad guys always should lose. And shout out to the thumbnail if you got to see the thumbnail of my video. Great quote. R.I.P. to Mr. Razor Ramon. But, you know, it's just bad times don't last, but bad guys do. And that quote in itself is like a positive quote for like the bad guys. And Team Rocket, they're supposed to always lose. Team Rocket is blasting off again because Jesse and James, they lose. But when you hear about the name of the set, the glory to Team Rocket, glory, if you've been watching this channel enough and you know like some of the early Home Shopping Network glory Beanie Babies, but glory to Team Rocket. This feels to be a homage to the bad guys. And if it's the glory to them, they're going to represent like that dark feel in full representation. And I cannot wait. This is going to be a hype set. How can you hype something that you don't know a single card? I'm doing it right now. This is how you do it. Now, do I think that with modern Pokemon, this is going to be like a Scalper's Paradise and stuff like that? No, I don't. I think we're probably a little bit too far removed from the days of everything being scalped. I mean, I think there's some people that just for the drama, they wish the scalping would come back maybe more, because then they would have something to talk about. But I don't think modern Pokemon, that's really possible. But when it comes to demand, I could see there being huge demand for Glory the Team Rocket. And I'll be interested to see how that secondary market price handles it, because one of the unfortunate reality for a lot of Scarlet and Violet set is right at release, especially for people that have distribution, there's been very, very little to no margins for modern sealed product, especially when it comes to booster boxes and stuff like this. We're seeing a lot of people from distribution able to pick up boxes between $90 and $95, and right at release, a lot of these boxes are selling between 90 and 100, 90 and 100, meaning if you're just at that entry floor level of distribution, you're probably losing money after you take into account selling fees and shipping. Some people are losing money trying to just sell modern product. That is not healthy. What we want in this hobby is we want a healthy secondary market prices. Really, that sweet spot I always talk about for booster boxes right at release is really within that $110, $120 price range, which means demand is strong enough that people with distributions could still make money. They could still be a little bit profitable, but also you don't want boxes to 2x at release, which unfortunately we saw happen during that 2020-2021 timeline. This could be one of those sets that could help that get past that hurdle a little bit. And I would love to see this set at release selling strong at 110, 120. If we get really lucky and this set could ever get up to that price point of 130, which now Paldea Evolved is just getting up to 130, and people are having parties in the street, they're so happy because of the unfortunate reality of how tough modern Pokemon has been to sell. But if Glory of the Team Rocket can be that set to really buck that trend, I hope that's the case. I do hope that we get that big banger set. And if you get a set like Glory of the Team Rocket, and it's in the title of this video and it's a little bit clickbaity, of course it is, when I say the Pokemon set that saved Scarlet and Violet, I did it for the clicks because people will see that title and they'll instantly get triggered no matter which side of the fence they're on. But there's a little bit of truth to it too. A lot of people are waiting for that big Scarlet and Violet set to come out. Call it the changing of the guard or whatever you want to call it in Scarlet and Violet. And this set could definitely have the makings for it. But the beautiful thing about a set like Glory of the Team Rocket, it's not going to just be about booster boxes. I can't wait to see what ETB artwork is, because I could already tell you right now, that ETB artwork, I'm sure is going to have a dark feel to it. And then also specialties like products, whether it's boxes, tins, and what I'm really talking about is just the promos. I'm excited just to see 3-pack blisters, check lane blisters. Anything Team Rocket at this point is going to be big. And if we can get a higher end premium collection box, one of the things we never really got for English Pokemon that unfortunately the Japanese market got, and the Japanese market just unfairly always gets the good promos. But when you think about the Team Rocket's briefcase, and then you had the Jesse James Meowth card, but then you had the Giovanni with his Persian. We never got to see those cards come out in English. It's just the unfortunate reality. I don't know why that happened, but who knows if those cards don't finally trickle their way into this product. A lot of people are going to say, oh, no, that doesn't make any sense. Listen, Pokemon could do whatever they want. That is a card we've never seen. We saw GX cards come out late into Sword and Shield, and people are going to be like, what GX cards did we see come out late into Sword and Shield? When you think about the premium collection boxes that were GameStop exclusive, it had the Pikachu and Zoroark. No, it was the Pikachu and Reshiram. It was the Pikachu and Zoroark, and then the Charizard and Reshiram GX boxes. So the Pikachu box was exclusive just to GameStop, and then the Charizard Reshiram GX box was exclusive just to Walmart. And that was a box that came out super, super late into Sword and Shield. So we can definitely see cards skip entire generations and potentially be in a set. Again, that, Team Rocket boxes, that's going to Sun and Moon. So it's a big jump, but who knows? The Pokemon could do whatever they want, or maybe we finally get to see those cards as some sort of promo or something. Which, this is the thing, once a card like that is no longer rare because it will readily be available in English, nobody will want that card in English, but they will still want the rare ones in Japanese because that's just how fickle this market is. But think about Team Rocket and any Pokemon. It doesn't matter what is your favorite Pokemon. You name it. Like, I got a Mimikyu. Shout out to Rage. Rage, if you're out there, this is your Mimikyu card sitting in front of me. Love Mimikyu. So many good cards. Think about, like, the Jesse's Mimikyu. If you follow, like, the actual television show, like, there's a great story arc that was going on for a while with Jesse's Mimikyu versus Ash's Pikachu. And just, like, an absolute utter hatred that Mimikyu has for Pikachu. And because, Mimikyu has to wear that costume over him because he is such a, they never show him, but like an arguably grotesque Pokemon, and nobody actually wants to look at what the true form of Mimikyu looks like. So he has this like really crude sewed on Mimikyu like costume. But Ash's Pikachu, which is Pikachu who his costume is more or less based off of, he hates Pikachu due to the sheer fact that Pikachu is this lovable, cute Pokemon. And because of that lovable, cute Pokemon-S that Pikachu has, Mimikyu has this undying hatred for Pikachu. And Mimikyu will literally fight Pikachu every chance he gets, and he would, in fact, fight Pikachu till his last breath. He would die just to fight Pikachu. That's how much hatred Mimikyu has for Pikachu. And I cannot wait. I think that will be one of the cards, in my opinion, that will definitely come out, will be a Jesse's Mimikyu. It's just going to be, this was literally just the Mimikyu that was in front of me. But you could just type in Team Rockets and then whatever your favorite Pokemon is. And I think a lot of people hear Team Rocket and they're automatically going to that Kanto, and they're automatically going to the Gen 1, but it doesn't have to just be a standalone Gen 1 because of, regular Team Rocket set and Team Rocket returns, and it doesn't have to be like that. They can still expand the glory of the Team Rocket into modern Pokemon. So we can potentially see like an entire, and this is the thing too, is Pokemon doesn't have to just limit it to Gen 1, and they don't have to just limit it to the most modern set either. Pokemon has all the generations they could touch, and they could take Pokemon from every single one of those generations. And, a lot of people talk about the evolutions too. We've never seen like truly Team Rocket-S evolutions. And it doesn't even have to be like the original 3 with your Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon. Like, Umbreon in itself is already a dark Pokemon. Now, what if you can take an Umbreon, which is a huge modern, even though, again, Umbreon is not a modern Pokemon, but the hype around Umbreon definitely feels more modern, even though Umbreons go back all the way to Neo Discovery, is the original Moonbreon from Neo Discovery, and there's a lot of Moonbreons a lot of Umbreons in between, but the original Moonbreon being from Neo Discovery, so that is early mid WotC, so it's not a new card, but like the hype around Umbreon is strong. But now imagine a Team Rocket's Umbreon. There could be, I can't wait to see like the secret rare set list of this card, and I hope Pokemon doesn't drop the ball on this, but I don't believe they will. And if there's any time you're going to put on your conspiracy theory tinfoil hat and think, does Pokemon truly have people that look at the secondary market? Do Pokemon have people that are deep down the YouTube rabbit hole? If they are, then they've watched this channel and they literally heard me ask and pray and plead with Pokemon to make this set, and I believe I'm finally getting my wish. And I do believe that this is a beautiful thing. That's all. It's beautiful. One of the things about Pokemon is that I always want that like next thing too, and I think everybody to a point wants that next thing, but I want that next thing that is going to grab my attention, but not just grab my attention. I want to see the next thing that like sets a precedent for sets moving forwards, but more importantly, a set that people will talk about, and not just a month from now or a year from now or 5 years from now. I want a set that people will talk back on in 10 years from now, 15 years now, 20 years from now. And one of the beautiful things about those early Team Rocket sets is here we are. You know, Team Rocket, the original set, is the year 2000. That was 24 years ago. Team Rocket Returns was 2004. That was 20 years ago. And here we are, still to this day, 2 decades removed from when those sets were released. And we are still talking about those sets. And not only are we talking about those sets, we are talking about those sets on the highest tiers of all Pokemon. If you're going to make an absolute, tier list of all sets, those are sets that are going to be brought up in conversations all the time. And, when I think about the glory of the Team Rocket, and I think about longevities of sets, and sets that removing out of the Scarlet and Violet era, and whatever, Gen 10 and Gen 11 and Gen 12, and when we're into Gen 14 in 10 years from now, and we look back on different periods of time, and we look at different generations of sets, and people start to rank sets. When people look at the WotC timeline and they start to rank the sets, or the Nintendo, or the Diamond and Pearl, or those Platinums, or the Heart Gold Soul Silvers, or the Black and White, and when people talk about all the sets and they rank the best sets, I could already see that conversation being Glory of the Team Rocket was the best set of Scarlet and Violet. And one of the things that I was a little bummed out about was I thought 151 would definitely be like the standalone of the Scarlet and Violet era, because it's just that original 151, that Kanto vibes. And while I thought it was great, I also in a video mentioned that I thought that if Pokemon wanted to make another set that could even top 151, that it could just be like a dark 151 set. But because Pokemon is now doing this with the glory of Team Rocket, it doesn't just like handicap them and put them in this corner where they could only use those original 151 Pokemon. Now Pokemon gets to choose from 1,000 different Pokemon. This set is going to be absolutely awesome. Listen, guys, I know this video was extra ranty tonight. I do want to read the chat. This was an emergency live. I had to just make a video talking about this. Real quick, Fat Belly Collects. He's been a member for 1 month. Fat Belly Collects, appreciate you. But yeah, Thursday, if you guys don't know, every Thursday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live every week. I'm going to be going way more in depth into this conversation. There's a few more things I want to touch base on. Some things that I've actually heard of that other people didn't mention. And real quick, before you guys click off, I made a video, about a month ago, talking about the Reese's Puffs. There was a exclusive like Dragon Ball Z box. I literally brought it up on my video. I put a link in if you want to buy that box in the description of that video, and I was shocked at how many people watched that video, and literally because of that video went and got a Dragon Ball Z Reese's Puff box. I said, hey, I'm only buying one. I don't know what these boxes are going to do, but because the secondary market is pretty wild, those boxes have already started to ship out. There was a few people actually already got them. I looked at my tracking scheduled to be delivered in 2 days, so I should have it for Thursday's live. But I was looking at like sales on eBay because I was like, oh, okay, I got the tracking. Oh, I'd be interested. What are they selling for? You can buy those boxes for $40, and they're now currently confirmed sales at $125. And I'm just like, doesn't matter if it's Dragon Ball, doesn't matter if it's Pokemon. People love what they love. Fresh Tat says, PK is pre-recorded and scripted. Fresh Tats, I got you, buddy. Love you. Appreciate the super mean passive-aggressive comment, but no, it's not pre-recorded, not scripted. Oh, God. Katie said, Dark Jinx, let's go. Listen, guys, appreciate every single one of you. And as always, I'll catch you on the next video.